I'd like to welcome everyone to my space. My name is JB the Mentor, and in this space we talk dad stuff. I know it can be difficult to feel like you never can get your back from off the wall because there's so many different things that you have to do as a dad. And you look for advice, you look for networks, you look for outlets that can mentor you, that can guide you, or just be a voice of reasoning sometime, and it's never there. So in this space, we talk about all things dad, and we make sure that we give you some tips and advice that can guide you through your journey as a dad. If that sounds like you, I want you to stay tuned, stay locked, and we'll be right back. So before we get into this show, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell so that when new content is released, that you can continue to support a great resource such as this. So let's get right into it. So number one, the first thing that you can do as a dad is recognize, to use an old phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day, and that your time will be spent best at understanding that you must have an abundance of patience. And when I say an abundance, I mean an abundance. That means day one, day two, day three, month to month, year to year, until this child is grown. And even then, your patience will still be called upon because you'll never stop being a dad. So the number one thing that you can do at this moment is to understand that a true dad must have an abundance of patience to get him through the day and help him really guide his child or children on their way. And so the second piece of advice that I can give you is understanding that old African proverb that it takes a village to raise a child. And that means grandma, grandpa, auntie, niece, uncle, anybody, the community. All of these important connectors, they come together and they help raise your child. They give you advice. They provide moments of relief. But most importantly, they act as an additional support and much needed love that you will need from time to time to guide your children and to raise your children and help point them in the right direction. So never forget that a real dad relies on the village to help him with his journey in raising his children. So the third piece of advice that I can give you in this modern age of being a daddy is to understand that every dad needs a network. And what do I mean by network? I mean a place, an outlet, the barbershop. They have so many fatherhood initiative programs to help you with this journey, to help you understand all of the complexities and the minute things that you will experience on a day-to-day basis while you're raising your children. And that you should never feel like you're lost and you're isolated and you don't have anyone. You should be able to seek these agencies or organizations out through the internet, through some form of media outlet, but to understand that you're never alone in raising your child, and that there's always a group of men that will sit you down and talk with you and let you know that what you're going through, you're not the only one, and that dad alliance is strong, but they're ready and they're prepared to be there for you. So seek a network out that will help you with those difficult moments. So this fourth piece of advice is perhaps the most crucial, and it simply comes down to this: being engaged and being present. And what do I mean by this? That means that when you come home, you shut off the cell phone, you show them love, you kiss them, you hug them. And if they're too big to be kissed and hugged, then you sit them down and ask them, how was the day going? You find out all of the things that has now become a part of their life that they can share with you. You know their friends. You know the outlets that they're connected to. You spend time being present, that you don't let minor distractions take you away from being that dad that they so desperately need. And you don't just say, Meanwhile, you're looking at something else, or you're listening to something else, or you're texting on the cell phone. That you are ready, able, available, and that they can see without a shadow of a doubt that their dad is there, ready to hold a discussion, ready to show them that your time and energy, they don't have to search for it because it's right there within an arm's reach away. Present and engaged. Dads, that is a crucial tool that you will need in chipping away at being a good dad. So the fifth piece of advice that I can give all you dads is to listen. Sometimes talking with them is important, but listening. Sometimes they want to know that you are absorbing everything that they're saying. That you go from like this to falling in and being drawn in by what they're saying. That what they're saying is so compelling, you can't do nothing but listen. And every now and then interject and say, well, what happened here and what happened there? Or is there something that you need me to do? Every child wants a parent or a dad to listen to them. Listen intently, listen passionately, and listen for the juices, the spices of that conversation that will really make that relationship simmer and start to cook. So being a good dad is listening to your children. So the sixth tip that takes precedence over 1 through 5 is simply this. Take care of yourself. A dad that doesn't take care of himself is meaningless to his family. He's meaningless to his children. He's meaningless to himself. Steady checkups, steady mental health, steady eating right, steady exercising, steady understanding, consistently understanding that when you take care of this vessel, everything else is taken care of. That if you don't do a good job of understanding what your body is going through and what your body is saying to you, that you won't be able to maintain this. And if you can't maintain this, then you can't be a part of the big show, which is watching your children grow and being a fixture in their lives. So that someday, some of the skills and tools and advice that you give them, they can reach the world with. And that's being a good dad. Understanding that your health comes first. So that's a wrap for this show. If you love this kind of content, please leave your comments below. You can make suggestions. Remember to hit that like button, to hit that subscribe button, and to support this channel so that you can continue to receive resourceful information like this that is relatable to all of you dads. And dads, I need you to understand, this journey, you're never walking alone. There are millions of us sharing the same journey. But what we need to do is to make sure that we continue to connect and that we provide a sense of strength and hope and inspiration for each dad in this affiliation of raising children. Until the next show, remember, the greatest thing that you can do is to be present, available, and engaged, and to let your child know that you love them unconditionally